Hello, everybody. Welcome to Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the Drive Thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time is delivered live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and over at Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek here at who's on the show here for today. All right, with us is Damian, Sosh. We got Chris Ruffolo with us. Big on McMordie. We're hoping to hear from James Clark. We got Ninos, and we've got Mitch with us. It's Wednesdays with Mitch, and here's how they'll line up for today. We've got Ruffolo, McMordie, Clark, Sosh, Ninos, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. All right, let's go and let's get this show underway here. It'll be afternoon baseball. We still have games for you in the prime time. We'll also have a pick from that big hockey game tonight. Well, let's get it started. Speaking of hockey, let's get it started right here with Chris Ruffolo. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. He's also part of that morning crew now, Monday through Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So let's go ahead and bring in Chris. Actually, Chris is on my screen here. Let me bring him back in here. Let's see here. I think we've got him ready to roll here. There we go. Chris. Wow. Here he is. Chris, what's happening? I got to get used to these controls. That you're on the morning show. What's going on?
What's going on, Tony? I missed you. I started to forget what you looked like for a minute.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't recognize you. All right, well, you got the hockey game for us tonight at 8 Eastern Time as the Rangers here will face the Lightning. The Lightning road favorites are 30 total, 5.5.
Yeah, Tony, for sure. You know, the reason I looked at this game was mainly because, the New York Rangers just absolutely took it to the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 7. And yes, the Tampa Bay Lightning, they looked dominant against the Florida Panthers. They held the Panthers, who had led the NHL in goal scoring this season, to just 3 goals over the 4-game set. The thing is, though, is that the Lightning haven't played since May 23rd, and I know, the whole rest versus rust thing is just a narrative some people don't buy into. But I think, with just the New York Rangers staying at that high level of consistent competition for that 7-game series, I think they're actually going to just be in a spot where they can continue that sort of, that style of play. They don't have to worry about trying to shake the rest off, the same problem that the Lightning may have here. We saw a great goaltending from Igor Shesterkin, and that's what the Rangers are going to need. I think if the Rangers want to win this series, they're going to have to start by winning on home ice. The home team in New York's playoffs so far, 11-3, so I got to go with the Rangers at plus money in this one.
All right, we got Chris here, plus money. The Rangers plus 110 here against the Lightning. Yeah, when you look at this Rangers team, they were able to get a difficult task, go into Carolina, get that win. It was a dominating victory, carrying some momentum. As you said, a little bit of rust here for the Lightning on the sidelines, but they looked really good in that series against Florida. Sometimes we think of the Lightning as a really good offense, but man, every game looks like in that series here for Florida and Tampa Bay went under the total. We know the Ranger team. This is a Ranger team that plays the low-scoring games as well. One of the top-scoring defenses in the league.
Oh no, absolutely. And especially at home where they just play dominant hockey, it's going to be a challenge to try to stop this Tampa Bay Lightning team. But I think with the goaltending from Shesterkin and the tough defense of the Rangers, I think it's going to be a Rangers victory.
All right, we got there with the Rangers plus 110 against the Lightning. This one will have a start time of 8 Eastern Time. The hockey is on tonight on ESPN. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium here for tonight's action. As we know, still some baseball in prime time on the board. About half a dozen games or so. Of course, we've got that big hockey game. NBA starts again tomorrow. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I had a lot of the baseball action go off earlier this afternoon. And, for me, I still got my $15 pick-off play still on the board. But, if you missed out on today's action, don't worry. Hop on something long-term, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day, all the way up to a year. It's going to give you some of the best value over at Pick Dogs. Also, make sure you check out that VIP package, the join button in the description of the video below. It's some of the great value in sports handicapping. Tons of options for you guys at Pick Dogs. You just got to go check them out.
That's right, guys. Again, we're with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs. Premium's got that $15 Wednesday pick-off play up there right now. Let's get on that. Of course, the long-term pass are your best value with Chris. With the 3, 7, or 30-day sports pass, you get all of Chris's premium plays for that time period you select when you go to his handicapper page and make that purchase. Of course, that 1-month pass will get you all of Chris's plays from the MLB. We got the remainder of NHL because that'll take you right to the end of the Stanley Cup Finals, as well as the rest of NBA Finals, which begins on Monday. You can add Chris on the 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Chris, as always, great having you aboard. Continue that great work here in the mornings, and we'll talk with you again next week. I know you also contribute a lot with your videos at night.
Yeah, Tony, I got a lot of stuff on the go right now. Videos, like you mentioned, the morning show. It's I'm still trying to keep up with it, but you know what? I'm having a great time doing it. Love what I'm doing at Pick Dogs, and happy to be back on the drive. And I think I'm taking over for you later this week.
That's right, you're back. You're in for me on Friday as I'm out to my usual summers out in the middle of forest away from everything. So I'll look forward to having you on the drive-through here on Friday. But great having you. Great seeing you again, Chris. Have a great afternoon and evening. We'll talk with you again next week.
See you, Tony. Thanks.
You got it. Chris Ruffolo here on the drive to. Let's continue our coverage. Guys, reminder, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every single day. Of course, it'll all get started with that morning show, and that morning show starts here at 10 a.m. Eastern time. You got Mitch, you got Chris, you got Brian Bittler. And of course, you don't want to miss also Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. A lot of videos up there from the crew with Chris at night, and of course with Mitch as well. We've got the parlay video here from Jovan Burtz, as well as Brian's pair of videos that he delivers. So check out Pick Dogs and make sure you subscribe. Let's continue now on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and welcome him, number one capper for 2022 over at Pick Dogs, and that is Big Al McMordie. So let's bring him in right now. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. I think we've got him ready to roll here. Big Al, how you doing today?
Pretty good. You know, you're tearing up the bases this year, Tony.
Oh, yeah, bases have been doing well for me this season. Thank you for that. All right, here we go with Major League Baseball tonight, 7 Eastern time on Fox 1. The Yankees here to host the Angels here. The Yankees a $1.80, total of 8.
And you know, Tony, at this time last year, I think there were 6 no-hitters already thrown in Major League Baseball. You know, fast forward to this season, there's only been 1, and it's been by this Angels starter, you know, rookie Reed Detmers. He did it on May 10th versus Tampa Bay, and he actually came within 1 walk of throwing just the either 22nd or 23rd perfect game in MLB history. So, you know, he's having a really nice rookie campaign for the Angels. The one team that's really got to him this season has been the Texas Rangers. He's faced them 3 times, and he hasn't been able to have any success at all versus Texas. But if you take away those 3 starts, he's got a 2.60 ERA in his other 8 starts, and he's having really what would be like a rookie pitcher of the year campaign. You know, it's just that Texas eats up left-handers, and he's a lefty. And, you know, so he hasn't found any success versus the Rangers this year. But the Yankees are hitting 10 points lower against lefties than they are righties this season. I think he's going to find some success. I hate going against Nestor Cortes, one of my favorite pitchers this season, but the price just dictates this play. You know, if I am going to go against Nestor Cortes, I'm going to do so with the Angels off 6 losses with Reed Detmers on the hill and getting, you know, plus 160, 165. So we're going to take the Angels as a big underdog here. And, you know, it's, again, don't love going against Cortes, but too big of a price.
Yeah, big price here on the Angels here. You're getting plus 155, a good price there with them. Of course, as you mentioned, Cortes has put up some solid numbers this year. I think he almost had a no-hit himself this year.
He did. Yeah, I was watching that game. It was on an afternoon. He played, again, Texas. You know, speaking of the Texas Rangers, and he was great in that game. And, you know, and he's been great ever since. You know, a lot of the guys, when they throw that no-hitter, they have the letdowns, but he hasn't had any letdown. He just keeps going and going and going. So
yeah,
he's having a really good year.
Well, let me ask you a question, Big Al. Of course, there's been a lot of changes here with the stats, and I know you look at a lot of database information. What are your thoughts here with some of these advanced metrics that we're seeing in baseball? You know, we talk about, you know, numbers like the FIP. We're looking at a big concentration here in fly ball, ground ball. And what are your thoughts on some of these advanced stats that are now out?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of friends who use the advanced stats. I think they're very useful. You know, if I would go that route, that's the way I would go. I do things a little bit differently. I don't really want to get into how I handicap baseball, but you know, I do a lot of team stuff rather than pitcher driven. But anyway, yeah, I like the advanced stats. I love what Ron Romanelli does, et cetera.
Excellent. Okay, Angels here plus 155 against the Yankees. This one will have a start time here, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's over on Fox 1. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over to Pick Dog Premier for tonight, where you're putting up some great numbers. 3,605 units of profit for 2022. That is all documented. Number 1 rated over at Pick Dogs Premium for 2022. Of course, we still have baseball on the board here. I think there's about 8 games remaining. That one big hockey game. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I've got, I think, one baseball game left. I lost earlier today with Yu Darvish and the Padres, unfortunately, but still having, you know, a nice run. I think it's 53-31 the last 84 in baseball, 60-34 the last 94 in basketball. Hockey, 68-44 the last 112. And tonight, I've actually got my 5-star NHL game of the year. Don't have very many 5-star plays in any sport. It's just my second 5-star in hockey this season. Just my 14th 5-star in the last 12 months in any sport. And we've won the last 4 5-star plays, including my NBA Game of the Year, my college basketball Game of the Year, also my NHL first round Game of the Year. So this is one of the 14 best plays I've had in the last 12 months, and it goes tonight in hockey. So don't miss that. Just go to pickdogs.com, and of course the best deal is to join for a week or a month and get all of my selections, and also to team up with one of the other champion handicappers here at Pick Dogs.
That's right. Again, we're with Big Al McMordie over at Pick Dogs. From you see numbers here, 3,600 units of profit here for 2022. All documented, also showing great profit here the past 30 days as well. Having a really good MLB season, so a good time to get on board with Big Al tonight. He does have action up there for you. His big NHL Game of the Year up there for you. You can purchase that right now. Also some individual plays here from MLB. If you're looking for the NBA winner here for Game 1, that's up there as well. So a good time to get on board with Big Al's individual plays up there. Or if you prefer, instead of buying these plays individually, you can go long-term with Big Al. He has a 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. You get all of his premium plays for that time period you select. When you go to his handicapper page and you make that purchase, you get that 1-month pass, all of his baseball for 30 days, NBA as well. That'll cover you for the remainder of the NBA Finals. Should cover the remainder of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, as we have just 2 rounds of left of playoff hockey. So that 1-month pass is a very good offer right now. You can add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion, even greater value there. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow, Tony. Thanks so much.
You got it. Big Al McMordie here on the Drive to. Let's continue her coverage, guys. If you missed any of our picks, we'll go ahead and do a complete recap here at the end of the show. I don't see James Clark signed in, so we'll move forward here and welcome in Damian Sosh to the Drive to. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs, where he's done some fine work up there. He's lighting up the boards, lighting up the lamp in the NHL this season. So let's go ahead and getting in Damian right now. Damian Sosh. We'll get him in just a second here. He's got to play for us from Major League Baseball, so let's bring him in. Damian, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, how's it going?
It's going great. All right, here we go, 7 Eastern time, as we got the Red Sox here hosting the Reds. The Red Sox big favorites here of 210, total of 8.5.
Yeah, taking a look here at the Red Sox game. The Reds started off the season just awful. There's a time I was wondering if they're going to reach 10 wins on the season, but now they're playing much better. They're 6-4 over the last 10 games. They just beat the Red Sox last night, 2-1. Hunter Green's going to be on the mound for Cincinnati tonight. His numbers on the season aren't spectacular. 2-6, 5.89 ERA, but he's a guy he's a young kid for Cincinnati. He's a big strikeout guy. He's got really electric stuff. I think he's much better than what those numbers are showing. Earlier this season, he pitched 7 innings, pitched a no-hit ball against the Pirates. Now the Reds threw a no-hitter that game. They ended up losing that game. He actually took the loss, but no-hit ball for 7 innings. 6 innings pitched right before that, I believe right after that start, 4-hit ball, 1 runs against the Blue Jays. So he's a guy that can really shut teams down. Over his last 3 starts, he's averaging 6 1/3 innings pitched with a 3.44 ERA and just 11 hits in those 18-plus innings. He's going to be opposed by Garrett Whitlock of the Red Sox. Whitlock has nice numbers. He's 1-1, a 3.49 ERA in a season. But I think we're starting to see a little bit of regression from Whitlock. Over his last 3 starts, his ERA is 5.79 over those last 3 starts, and he's given up 18 hits in 14 innings pitched. So we're beginning to see a little bit of regression from Whitlock here. The Red Sox have really underachieved, I believe, all season. They're 23-27 at this point. I think people are expecting a lot more from this Boston team. They just lost a series to the Baltimore Orioles, and I think we're getting a good price here with a pretty good pitcher on the mound for the Reds, and I like my chances of Cincinnati in this one.
All right, we got Damian Sosh. You're going to go here with the Reds plus 175 here against the Boston Red Sox here. And, of course, the Red Sox are really a tough team to figure out, right? At one moment they could be scoring 10 runs, high-scoring games, and they'll be held to 1 or 2 runs a game. So there's really an inconsistent team here when you're looking at the Red Sox. So, yeah, you've got to hold your breath if you're going to lay over $2 with this team. And one thing I was going to look up here, and I made some notes about the green here. I just want to make sure it's accurate because I couldn't believe it when I read it a third time, is his strikeout rate. Am I right that he's allowing almost 3 home runs per 9 innings? Let me see if I can look up these numbers here he is. Hunter Green is 3 home runs here per 9 innings so far this year for and almost 44 innings of innings pitched.
Early on in the season, he was getting shelled. There's no doubt about it. But like I said, I think he's really turned things around. He's pitched really. He did get hit around pretty good against the Cubbies his last outing. But prior to that, like he mentioned, those the numbers he put up against the Blue Jays and Pirates, he's a guy that really has good stuff. Being in the Cincinnati organization, they'll probably wait till he becomes an all-star, and then they won't pay him. Then he'll move on to another team. But right now, I think he's a good young pitcher here for the Reds.
Yeah, he's a rookie, and he's hitting almost 98.5 miles per hour on the fastball. So that's pretty promising there, and it looks like the weather's going to hold up okay. There was a small chance of rain, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen here, 14%, so it's down from what it was last night. All right, we got Damian here on the Reds plus 175 against the Red Sox. This one will have a start time here of 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can watch it over on MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, Damian, let's go over at Pick Dogs Premium, where we put up some great numbers in the NHL this season. 1,611 units of profit. That is all documented. So if you go over to Pick Dogs and go to Damian's handicapper page, you can verify all these numbers. They're right there on the bottom of the page. All right, Damian, we still have, nine games left for Major League Baseball. We got that big NHL game. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, I had both my baseball games have already gone off for today, but I do have a play on the Rangers Lightning game, which is going to be on tonight. As you can see, I'm doing pretty well here in the NHL. We're looking to keep that going. And as always, right now, NBA Finals going on, obviously Major League Baseball, hockey. So, pick yourself up a 3-7 30-day plan. You'll get all my selections, all sports. But I really my favorite deal, I think, on the site is a 2-for-1 capper deal, where you can team me up with one of the other great cappers here on this site. We got something for everybody's budget. So definitely head on over there, check it out, and we'll make some money together, guys.
That's right, guys. Got to borrow here with Damian Sosh over at Pick Dogs Premium. See numbers in the NHL. Get his NHL top shelf play, his best bet tonight from the NHL. Affordable price of just $29 here for that NHL winner. Of course, the long-term passes will get you a good value as well. Of course, Damian's 3, 7, or 30 all sports pass, all of his premium picks for that period of time you select. When you go to his handicapper page and you make that purchase, you can add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there. And of course, on a side note, he does have his MLB season pass available for you as well. That goes right to the end of the World Series. There's a lot of baseball left. Right to the late October, early November. So we got at least another 5 months of baseball left to go. So a good time to get on board with that as well. So check out Damian Sosh over at Pick Dogs. All right, Damian, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Tony. Have a good one.
You got it. Damian Sosh here on the Drive. Let's continue our coverage. Guys, if you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap at the end of the show. Let's move on here. Let's go ahead and welcome in Ninos to the show. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. Again, he's been lighting up the lamp in the NHL. It's been huge numbers this season. Let's bring him in right now. Al, what's happening?
Going pretty good. How are you?
Doing all right. All right, here we go, El Ninos, with your game tonight. We're going to Major League Baseball at 7 Eastern time as the Blue Jays here host the White Sox. The Blue Jays, $1.25, total 8.5.
Definitely not an easy matchup here, but we do have a big advantage on the mound. I think Michael Kopech's looked great so far this season. Ryu used to be a great pitcher. He's starting to turn things around a little bit, but again, Kopech's just been the more consistent starter this season, and it'll be interesting to see how Ryu keeps things going here. He had 1 game, 6 innings, no earned runs, and then he did give up 2 in his next start and only completed 5 in that one against the Angels. But again, it was an ugly start to his season, and the White Sox haven't been playing their best baseball, but I think that they get behind Kopech here, and he gets off to a good start. I'm not looking at the full game, although we could look at that too, because it's not like the Blue Jays have a great bullpen or anything. But I'll just worry about the starting pitching matchup for this pick and take the White Sox in the first 5 innings.
All right, we got El Ninos here. He's liking the first 5 here with the White Sox. First 5 minus 107 here against the Blue Jays. Yeah, when you look here, let's see, we're bringing it right here. When you look at this one, Kopech has put up some great numbers. Ryu is a pitcher that had that forearm injury and he missed much of the season. So he's still trying to get himself back in shape. The numbers have been crooked this year, but the things that really concerning here with Ryu is that his strikeout rate has dropped considerably, just 12.5%. He's pitching to very high contact. And, that's one thing about the White Sox, and they're not doing as well as they have in previous seasons, but they do a pretty good job of it, Alan, and that is facing left-handed starters.
Yeah, that's always something they've done pretty well. And yeah, you said Ryu, he's getting up there in his career, too. So, again, he doesn't throw his fastball too hard, and I think they get to him here. So strikeout rate's down, as you said. White Sox, I said, haven't been playing their best baseball, but they still got some guys in their lineup that can hit the ball, and I think they get to Ryu here tonight.
Yeah, and another troubling stat here for Ryu is that he's only holding 63% of his base runners. That's strand rate. Almost a third of his base runners are coming home and scoring. So that's another troubling sign here. So Al here on the White Sox first five, -107 against the Blue Jays. This one will have a start time of 7 Eastern time over on MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs, where you've been doing fantastic work here in the NHL. 2,894 units of profit. That is all documented. So we go over to Pick Dogs. You can check Al's numbers there. They're all there for you to check out. 100% documented plays here from Al. Okay, what do you have going on tonight? We've got still 9 games for Major League Baseball. It looks like the Colorado game 2 will be starting late. The game just finished, so it will not be a 6:40 start. This may start beyond 7 Eastern. So Colorado game will be a little later start than posted. So 9 games remaining for Major League Baseball. That big hockey game. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, my baseball already started, but I do have a couple of plays there for everyone on the long-term passes, and then I have an NHL. My playing the NHL game tonight. If you want to check that out individually, but again, long-term passes or 2-for-1 capper specials, the best way to go.
That's right, guys. I got on board with Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the numbers: 2,894 units of profit. He's got his winner from tonight's game between the Rangers and the Lightning. It's called his NHL Wednesday Power Play. You can get on board with that from the top unit producer in the NHL this season over at Pick Dogs. Or if you prefer the long-term passes, of course, Al has a great value there with his 3, 7, and 30 Al Sports Pass. You get all of Al's premium plays for that period of time. You select when you go to his handicapper page and you make that purchase. Also, seasonal passes available here from MLB, NHL, NBA. So a lot of playoff passes up there. If you're just looking for a single sports to bet on, Al Ninos, you can purchase the remainder of NHL season passes. We have 2 more rounds. We're just halfway through the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. There's still 2 more rounds of playoffs to go. Another month of action. Get on board with Al Ninos' long-term passes. Of course, remember, if you get that 3, 7, or 30-day pass, you can add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Al, as always, great having you show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
You got it. Al Ninos here on the drive-thru. Remember, if you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap at the end of the show. And I just got a text here from that we get here from James Clark. Just got underground service, but was not able to come on the show. I was hoping for a pick from him, but couldn't get one. So, all right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru now. Let's go ahead and welcome in Mitch. You'll catch Mitch over at Pick Dogs. His 7 picks in 5 minutes have been doing great. Let's go ahead and bring him in right now. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing much. Just another Wednesday on the drive-thru, Tony. It's just packed. It's kind of that time of year. We're winding down NBA and NHL, heading into Major League Baseball full steam. About 50 games in now, so we still have, a lot of Major League Baseball left this season. But we're starting to see the contenders separate from the pretenders. The team that started the season running on kind of that adrenaline and kind of that, enthusiasm, now we're starting to see talent win out and depth, more than anything else.
Yeah, depth, and teams trying to avoid injuries, so they're starting rotation, trying to be healthy, just keep their health here. But we're going to be looking at one tonight, 7 Eastern time, as the Orioles here host the Mariners. The Orioles at $1.45, total 8.5.
Yeah, and this one you gotta take the Mariners here on the run line. They have absolutely owned the Orioles at Camden Yards. The other day I was kind of thinking that maybe the Orioles, they've turned the corner. We know that this year that they've kind of bounced off the floor. It's just a matter of how high the ball is going to bounce. We know how low the floor is because we've seen it many, many years in a row here in Baltimore. But the thing is that, when I look at the betting tools, which, I look at about every single day. Well, not just about every single day. I look at them every single day. There was a betting tool about this specific game. And what it said is that Mariners have covered the run line 6 games in a row at Camden. And I don't think I'm willing, after watching the other games in this series, especially, a George Kirby game, I'm not ready to jump off that ship yet. I mean, what you got to do is find sometimes in baseball and in all sports, you got to kind of find that thing that's working, jump on it, ride it as long as you can. The secret is to get on early before it becomes mainstream. Once it becomes mainstream, it's dead. It's just dead. But if you can get on just a tad early, and it does mean taking a risk. It does mean going outside your comfort zone, and that's how you jump on it. That's how you get the Reds, when they're 3-21, and all of a sudden, you catch all those wins at plus 200, or the Pirates here in in LA. We saw the Dodgers struggle in the first game. We know the public greatly underestimates the the probability of a disaster, right? They don't want to even think about it. But it certainly happened, and it happened 2 nights in a row. And then we saw Cincinnati bust up the Red Sox all in the same night. So, I mean, if you just bet those 3 games, it's like, you're up, what?
Well, it's true.
Five,
or you can
minutes.
fade teams. If you saw the Padres play the Pirates, you could have faded them all 3 against the Cardinals and come up and win all 3 games.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing. It's like you just got to jump on it, and you got to trust it. And it's like sometimes it's not going to work out, but if you ride the same system and you're playing the value plays, not the minus 1.5, minus 110 games, but I mean the true value plays. And the Astros got bailed out here, in the 9th inning against the A's. They were losing 3-1. Now they put 5 runs on the board and are still batting against the A's, and to bail out all those Verlander jumpers, right? But more than often, these 1.5 at negative odds have not been paying too well.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, we got Mitch here in this one. I'm going to be looking here at the Mariners here, taking them on the run line here in this one, laying the 1.5 here at plus 115 here against the Orioles. Yeah, Bradish, I guess he was a listed starter here. I want to make sure he's still going here because Bradish has been tearing up. He's given up over 2 home runs per 9 innings. And the temperature right now, Mitch, shows 89 degrees in Baltimore, so we could see some balls going over the fence tonight.
It's definitely warm all over the country. We've seen it just about everywhere.
Yep, we certainly have. So we got the Mariners run line minus 1.5 runs, plus 115 against the Orioles, and this one will be beginning here at the top of the hour here over on MLB.
I mean, you can only fade the Phillies once a day, so you got to go to other places. You can't fade the Phillies more than once unless they play in a doubleheader.
Yes, that's right. That's been another one to fade away, and they've been just faded, looking bad.
It's kind of the problem with baseball. It's like I love fading the Phillies, but I can only fade them once a day unless they're playing a doubleheader.
That's right. All right, Mitch. Let everybody know here we're in June. Before you know it, we're in July. Training camp starts. Before you know it, we're in the preseason football in August. So what's happening over at Big Dogs? What are your plans here with Sports Chat Place as well?
We've just got to have a lot going on here with the betting tools. We have some massive releases coming out. If you guys check out the new player props tab, we're running props on every single player in every single sport. Prop articles. These are somewhat. A lot of these are generated. We don't pretend like that the entire article is handwritten. But these are just a comprehensive stat sheet for every player of every game every single day. We're testing the waters here with Major League Baseball, which is a good place to test the waters because you have 15 games a day. You've got at least 18 players playing in each game, plus some other guys that may or may not see action. So you have plenty of player props out for those, and we have an individual article for each of those. We'll be doing it throughout football season, basketball season, and every season of every sport going forward. We're really excited about it. We have someone who's kind of just coordinating all of that stuff, kind of directing traffic. But in order to get that kind of data, you need to hit the the tech. It doesn't necessarily work with you can't handwrite that stuff. It's impossible. There's too much data.
Yeah, it's quite a few data there. Of course, check out Mitch's betting tools, of course, in the morning show. Of course, you, Chris, and Brian Bittler there in the mornings, and your 7 picks in 5 minutes has been pretty much now a staple there over on Pick Dogs.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, this week, because Monday was the holiday, it was like I got the Monday mood on Tuesday. So I was like, normally I'm in a bad mood on Monday. And, this week I even got to be in a bad mood again on Tuesday because it felt like Monday, right? So it was fun. I like having Ruffolo there. I know you miss him here, but, we like having him in the morning as well. And we could always get you someone else here to do shows with too.
I'm good hosting solo. I'm good.
Yeah, I think I kind of like the show like this. I kind of I think that Chris added something, but I think in the morning show it kind of gives him more of his own platform. Instead of like being the counter guy, capper, and then Chris's opinion on that or whatever. It's kind of like this way. It's like this is Chris's opinion on the game. It really doesn't matter what Al or Big Al, Little Al, or anybody else thinks. It's like this is Ruffalo's opinion. We're going to hold him accountable for it. So, right. And I enjoy it. It gives me more material to work with on a daily basis.
Yeah, it certainly does. All right, Mitch, as always.
That's up right. The Ruffalo stuff just writes itself.
I know.
It's the beauty of it.
It is. No doubt about that. All right, Mitch, as always, great having you on. Have a great afternoon, and we'll tune in tomorrow with a live show, and we'll talk with you again next week.
I don't want to mention anything about your record.
No.
Recently, I don't want to jinx it. Or,
you just did with that ninth inning for Oakland. I had the under in that one, but it's all right.
What was the total? 7.5?
Yeah.
Oh,
it went over.
But the game was already over. It was already over by the time I said it.
I know that.
It was already over. But yeah, but still, what is he? 18-2 in your last 20? Is that what it is? 18-2. So even if you drop this one, 18-3, in your last 20, it's ahead. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. Those runs are few and far between, except on Twitter. Those guys seem to always be on one of those. Anyways, thanks for having me, and thanks for doing the show.
You got it, Mitch. Appreciate it. All right, Mitch here on the drive-thru, guys. Be sure if you miss any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap at the end of the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here. Now it's time for my pick, and we'll go ahead and put up my game information right now. And let's see what we got here. We're going to look at Major League Baseball for this evening. And we've got here the Tigers hosting the Twins. $1.10 on both sides. Total sits here at 7.5. I'm going to be looking here at the under 7.5 here with the Twins and the Tigers. And, of course, in the pitching matchups, I like here. Over here for Minnesota, who's shown improvement this year in 6 starts, ERA of 3.25, WHIP of 1.23. He's improved his home runs. He limits his home runs this season. That's what I was trying to get out here. Screwball has another pitcher who's shown improvement. He was a couple of years ago when he came in as a rookie. He was just a go-against, but he has really gotten his act together here. 9 starts, good ERA, 27% strikeouts, good control, ground ball rates 48%, minimal home run damage. The bullpens are performing well here on both sides. And Detroit, not a really strong hitting team. They just hit .211 against right-handers. We'll take Detroit and Minnesota to go under total of 7.5 runs. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium, where I've done some pretty fine work as Mitch was going over the numbers there in Major League Baseball. Probably your best value is get on one of my long-term passes, my 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. You get all of my premium plays for that time period to select. When you go to my handicapper page and you make that purchase, of course, you can add a 2-for-1 cap promotion. You can match me up with Mitch. You can match me up with Chris. With all the Pick Dogs, of course, Alex Smart, Al Ninos, Big Al McMordie. We got Damian Sosh, James Clark. 2-for-1 cap promotion is your best value there over at Pick Dogs. So go ahead and get signed up with that one. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Yes, I am number 1 in Major League Baseball for this year. 1-1 so far on the day. 1 game pending. I am on the Giants tonight. So if I finish that one, I'll finish ahead in the plus again. So keep my run of winning days continuing as long as the Giants can come in and get that win. All right, let's continue on here with the show. And we're going to go ahead and do the recaps. Let me go ahead and put up the show picks for this evening's show. All right, we got started here with the Chris. He says take the New York Rangers here plus 110 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Al McMordie Angels plus 155 against the Yankees. We didn't get James. James just got service, and unfortunately I could not get a pick from him, so I tried, but we'll hopefully get him on soon on the show. We had Damian Sosh. He said take the Reds plus 175 against the Red Sox. Al Ninos, White Sox first 5 minus 107 against the Blue Jays. Mitch Mariners run line minus 1.5 runs plus 115 here against the Orioles. Yours truly here on the Twins Tigers under the total of 7.5 runs. And all those plays, let me just check data on some of these games here. Yeah, I'm going to go here with Mitch's play here on the Mariners run line minus 1.5 runs plus 115 against the Orioles. Bradish is just getting hammered, ERA over 7. He's given up 2.22 home runs per 9 innings. But here was the number that really strikes me. He's not very good in high leverage situations. High leverage situations, when runners are on base, he's only holding 61% of his base runners. That means 39% of his base runners are coming around to score. I like that play here with the Mariners run line minus 1.5 runs plus 115. That'll do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here, give out live free picks for the games in prime time. Don't forget to get started every day in the morning here, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The morning show, you got Mitch, you got Chris, you got Brian Biller, and of course, we got Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Can't forget about Goran. He's got that live show with Goran Show live with his soccer show. And of course, immediately following our show, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we've got the MMA show, UFC card coming up this weekend. You want to tune into Mills and Brad Francis. We'll give them a little bit of breathing time as the show is about over now. So be sure to tune in at 4 Eastern time, set those notifications, subscribe and set those notifications because you want to know when we go live with our broadcast. Like and subscribe, set notifications, get the best numbers when you place your bets from the picks that we give you. 7 Eastern time, it's a UFC show, Mills and Brad Francis. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the crew from night. Wait, good night to you guys. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk with you again tomorrow live.